Eva, and I've got another DIY video for you, and this time it's making this denim skirt, and I have to say, I am so proud of myself for this. This is so cute. I'm gonna wear this so often, and honestly, with my recent DIYs, I was like, I don't know if I want to wear them that often, but in actuality, I've worn them so often, like, I should just keep doing this. But yeah, I was not expecting it to turn out this nice, and I don't know, I'm just proud of myself. Also, making the skirt was so easy. Like, you're just so straight lines. There's nothing too crazy about it. You don't have to do anything hard. It's just, this is gonna be a short video, I think. If not, then it's probably because I talk too much. What made me really want this is the fact that I really wanted a skirt of some sort, and I went to the thrift store and I was like, oh, I could totally use a chambray, I think that's what it's called anyways, a chambray shirt to make a denim looking skirt that's trendy because it has buttons down the middle, and it's just, it looks like a denim skirt, except it's not a pain in the ass to sew because denim is really hard to sew. It hurts your fingers. I'm so proud of this. Like, you guys have to go and make this. This is such a great piece to have in your closet, and you can just match it with so many things, and it's trendy. It's just, make it. Before we get into the DIY, I want you guys to comment down below and let me know if there's anything you guys want me to try and create or attempt to do, and you can send me pictures if you want on Instagram and Facebook, or even just like down below with a link, except YouTube is kind of stupid and it kind of like auto filters links sometimes in the spam. I do try to check that as often as possible, except sometimes I forget to, so I don't want any of you guys to feel like you're ignored or anything if that happens. It's just, filtering system is not the most amazing thing on YouTube. Also, if you guys are enjoying these DIY videos, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you want more videos. But other than that, let's get into making this, and this is literally so simple. First thing you need is a men's shirt, and I wish I wore the men's shirt to show you guys like how big it was and like the fitting of it, except I totally forgot. So here it is, flat on the board. Try to get it in a chambray material. You could also get like a denim material one too. It's just chambray is usually cheaper and obviously easier to sew. Also, try not to get one with pockets. I obviously wasn't paying attention because Value Village was 50% off, and you all know that that's when I kind of just buy everything for all the videos ahead of time and deal with it all later, and just don't really pay attention to it very much. So, you know me, I kind of got suckered in and bought something with pockets, even though I don't want the pockets. It's pretty funny because it says Las Vegas, and obviously it's kind of like a tourist shirt, but whatever. It was $4. You're also going to want to find a skirt in your closet that you fit, and try to find one that's not too stretchy. Obviously not a skater skirt. Try and find one that's like a pencil skirt, kind of like straight-ish type of thing. It's just gonna fit you better. So just try and find one that fits you well. I would recommend like business type of blazer skirts, or even like pleather skirts, because those usually don't have too much stretch. Or even skirts with zippers. Trying to find skirts with zippers because we will be adding a zipper. Okay, now that the shirt is flat, you're going to want to lay the skirt flat down as well. Try to get it in the middle as much as possible because you don't want the buttons to be lopsided, you know? You kind of want it just straight down the middle. I did also leave a bit of fabric down at the bottom just because I wanted it to be like a longer skirt, longer than the skirt that I was using to make the pattern at least. Because I wanted the skirt to fit very well and very exact, I took a piece of white chalk and just outlined the black skirt that I'm using as a base, just so that I have more of an idea of where to sew and everything, just so I don't make it too big or too small in any parts. Then just cut it out, leaving some seam allowance. I left extra seam allowance on one side because that's the side I was going to add the zipper, and this is my first time adding a zipper, so I was kind of nervous, and I was like, you know what, more fabric is better than having too little fabric. After that, you're going to want to seam rip the pockets off if it does get in the way. In my case, it did, and it was pretty ugly under, actually. I was kind of hoping that the dye was going to be the same thing as what you see on the outside, but unfortunately it is darker and there's not much you can do about it. So I kind of just left it there for now, but we'll go back and fix it. And if you don't have a pocket in the way, then that makes your life a lot easier. Then you're going to want to fold the edges in just so that it's not gonna have raw edges, because we're going to be hemming it and everything, and just iron it down flat just so that it makes it easier for you. If you don't like ironing it down flat, you can use pins as well instead, except this project I want it to be very exact. So I ironed it, and using my straightener because I'm too lazy to go down to the scary basement with lots of spiders just to iron something. So straightener it is. It's kind of funny because that's all I literally use my straightener for. I don't really straighten my hair too often unless my ends are like super gross, but other than that, it's just I don't really use it, so I might as well just use it for sewing stuff. You're also going to want to iron down or pin down the waistband first before you do the sides. It makes it a lot easier. I did it the opposite way, but I realized after that I should not have done that, so I just fixed it. But just do the waistband first and then the edges. When everything is pinned and or ironed down, you can kind of see the shape of the skirt and see if you like, I don't know, it's just I'm a very visual person, so it makes it a lot easier for my brain to actually see the finished product as I'm doing it. But at this point, we gotta fix that dye problem from the pockets that's ruining my life. So I kind of just sat there on the floor thinking, what am I gonna do with this? Can I do anything with the sleeves? Can I do anything with this fabric? And from this, I concluded that I can actually use the collar of the shirts because it has really nice hems. I really like how it was sewed down, and it actually fits and covers up that dye spots. Plus there's enough of that fabric to cover the back and the front, just so that it's even and it goes all the way around. So I cut off the neck portion and the collar parts of the dress shirts, and I tried to cut it as close to the seams as possible without ruining them. And then just iron it flat just to make our lives easier since we are working with the skirt flat. For the piece of the neck collar part that I wanted to put on the front, I really didn't want to cover the buttons because I thought the buttons were really cute. So I actually cut it in half down the middle just so that I can kind of put it separately just around the button. So it kind of looks like a waistband that doesn't cover the button, I guess. If it makes it easier for you, you can cover the button. I really like the button. Now there's going to be a raw edge for the new waistband type of thing that you're making, and you're going to want to fold that in and then tuck it under or tuck it on top, just so that there's not going to be any raw edges, obviously. I tucked one under where the buttons would be, where you would like button it up and everything, and the other one I kind of just placed like beside it since there wasn't really anywhere where you could tuck it in. Then you're going to want to sew the collar to the skirt, and you're going to want to do this without the sides folded in because we'll deal with that stuff later. So just fold out the sides that you folded in before or pinned down before, and just sew it on straight across. And you're going to want to do this on the front of the skirt and on the back of the skirt. One thing that's important is that you're going to want to make sure that the back and the front match up on the sides, because that's just gonna look real awkward if the waistband that we're putting onto the skirts just doesn't match up on the sides. That's just awkward, so try your best to match it up. I hand sewed it, so if it looks ugly, I'm sorry. I know I suck at hand sewing. I just use like a hidden stitch, simple, straightforward, and you don't really see it. Alrighty, with that problem out of the way, and ideally you don't want that problem, so just buy a skirt without a damn pocket to make your life a lot easier so you don't have to sew as much. But with that out of the way, we're gonna work on the zipper. And I was intimidated by the zipper at first, but it's actually not that bad, I promise. So first things first, you're gonna want to add a hook. You don't necessarily have to add a hook, I just prefer hooks, and you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the little metal hook that you have on dresses that kind of helps you hold the ends in place while you zip it up and whatnot. And I'm just attaching that to the side that I want the zipper to go. I'm just sewing it in place with the sides folded in. You can get these metal hooks either from like an old bra or something, or old dress, or I don't know, you can probably just go to the fabric store and get it for a few cents. They're really inexpensive, so don't worry about that. For the zipper, I literally just went to the fabric store and picked up the cheapest one that kind of matched like color-wise, I guess, to the skirt. So that was like a decent length. I went with an 18cm navy one, and it was $2.05. There is some excess zipper on the end of my zipper. I kind of just chopped it off because it's not like I need it and it's gonna get in the way anyway, so whatever, so just cut it off. Alright, so you're going to want to make sure that the two sides of your skirts are placed side by side as if it was like opened or wide open like a book, and whatever sides that you want the zipper on, just make sure it's touching each other. You're going to want to place the zipper under the hook because we're going to zip it all the way to the hook, and you're going to want to just place it on top of the two seam allowances that you folded over to make a hem, and those two hems are actually going to cover the zipper. just so that it's hidden and you don't really see the zipper as much, because zippers aren't really that cute, to be honest, especially not this cheap one. Maybe the small ones are cute, like the really thin ones they get on the really nice dresses, but in this case we're all on a budget, so we're just gonna use any cheap zipper that we don't want showing. In this case, I would definitely recommend that you pin it in place because it's gonna make your life a lot easier, so just do that. On the same side that we're working on in terms of the zipper side, where the two sides are touching, you're going to want to sew along the bottom of the skirt upwards up until the zipper, and you're pretty much just going to want to sew the two folds together, because obviously that's the shape of the skirt that you want, just until the zipper. When you get to the bottom of the zipper, you're going to want to actually sew a horizontal seam or line of stitches. Sorry, I don't know the sewing vocabulary, but you're going to want to sew horizontally just so that the zipper attaches the two flaps together at that point. Once that's over with, you're going to want to sew along both sides of the zipper to the flaps the way that it's lying there with the flaps covering over it. As you're sewing upwards and securing the zipper in place, you can really start to see the flaps coming together that are going to be hiding the zipper. Now that that's over with, we have conquered the zipper. It looks great, amazing. It wasn't that hard. It wasn't as intimidating as you thought it was, or at least for me. And now we're going to want to sew it all together into a skirt, because right now it's just like a long piece of fabric that's like a flat skirt, and obviously we want it to look like a tube. So that's what we're gonna do. You're going to want to fold the fabric together with the inside facing the outside as if the skirt was inside out. And just like you did with the other side, except a lot simpler because you literally just need to do this once, is to actually just sew along the folded edges all the way up to the top, just so that you can secure the ends together. At this point you could be done, but I took it a few steps further just because I knew that I was going to be wearing this a lot, so I wanted to make sure that it was pretty refined and super sturdy and stuff. So I just sewed along the button seam just so that it's all closed and you can't really unbutton the skirt or anything. If you want to unbutton the skirt, you don't have to. It's just because sometimes you eat a lot and you need a lot of space, and if there's buttons in the way, like a button shirt or something, it pops out and you can kind of see it like peeping through. You can kind of peep through it, and that's not cute. I also decided to flip it inside out and cut off any excess fabric that does not need to be there, just so that it's more clean and it's just more space, I guess, on the inside. And finally, I just added some extra stitching here and there to make sure that everything's super secure, except if you're using a sewing machine, you're probably fine with whatever stitch the sewing machine did. It's just, I don't know, hand sewing, I'm not super great at it. You guys know I'm not super great at it, so if I can hand sew some more to like reinforce this, I'm gonna do that. And obviously it's not very cute, I'm sorry. But other than that, you have a very beautiful, cute skirt that you can wear with everything. It matches with everything, or almost everything. Well, actually, maybe it does match with everything. Either way though, this was the most simple project I've ever done, and obviously if you guys aren't too experienced with sewing, like, don't worry, I'm not either. And if I can do this, you can do this. And again, if you guys do want to see me recreate anything, feel free to send it to me on my Instagram, post it down below in the comment box, or just message it to me on my Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, because I have so many more fun projects coming up that are fashion related, and it's just, I'm so excited to release them. I've been working so hard on them. Give me a big thumbs up too if you like this, just so that I know to keep making more of these. And also, I will see you guys later, probably next Sunday, because that's when I always upload. Okay, bye!